It's working up an appetite, and baby, you're my breakfast. Ooh.
Here's everything you need for the recipe. You're gonna need some shrimp already peeled and cleaned. You're gonna need some imitation crab. I used about half of this package. Some Alfredo sauce. I love Bertolli's, but you can use any brand you choose. Seasonings: paprika, Cajun, garlic powder, peppercorns, preferably fresh, salt, minced garlic, grape tomatoes, Parmesan cheese, fresh basil, sliced mushrooms, linguini, bell pepper, white wine, and green onions, a pot, and a saucepan. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get about a half a pot of water, and I put a little of the Himalayan salt in there, and just bring that to a boil. And while that's boiling, we're gonna go ahead and season our shrimp. So just take your Cajun seasoning, and I eyeball everything. I don't really measure it, so whatever just looks good for you, you know? You're gonna take your garlic powder, take a little bit of paprika, you don't really need too much, and then your peppercorns. And I really like black pepper, so I use a good amount, but if not really necessary, you can use a tad and you'll still have a good taste. And then about a dash of salt. And you just mix it all up. Okay, so whenever your water gets to this consistency, you know, bubbles forming at the bottom, that's a good time to put in your pasta. And I'm not cooking for too many people, so I'm not using the whole package. So we would just put it in there for, I'll say about 5 to 8 minutes, or whenever it gets al dente. And we'll check on that later. Okay, so now it's time to cook all the other ingredients. My pasta is still over here boiling. I checked it. It was al dente, but I like it a little bit softer, so we're gonna let it go for a little bit longer. So in the pan, I just have about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Then I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of white wine. And you let that go for a little bit. So here we have our seasoned shrimp that was sitting there. And we're just gonna add it to the pan. And make sure you have a pretty good sized pan for the amount of shrimp you're cooking. You don't want the pan to be too overwhelmed. You want all your shrimp to cook at the same time. And just spread them out. And we're gonna cook them on medium heat. We're gonna cook them on medium heat for about 1 minute per side. And then we're gonna take them out afterwards. Okay, so now that we had our shrimp cooking on each side for a minute, everything looks good. We don't wanna cook them all the way through yet because we're gonna cook them again when it's time for the sauce. But we're just gonna throw our imitation crab in there. It's already cooked, but I just want to throw it in there so it gets coated with all that garlicky and Cajun seasoning. And we're just gonna toss that around for a couple seconds so everything gets coated. The pasta is done and I threw off the water. I have it in my little strainer right now. And what I like to do is put cold water on it so that it just stops the cooking process. Then we just strain that water out. And add it back to our pot. This is how everything should look after it's been sauteing for a few minutes. The mushrooms are cooked down. So now it's time to add the shrimp and crab. So I start off with about half of the jar because I don't want to put too much yet. Turn the heat down to low. And personally, this isn't enough sauce for me, so I'm gonna add more, but you can definitely just do this amount of sauce if you're not the type of person that likes too much Alfredo. It's time to do a taste test just to see if you have enough salt, if you need more. It's good for me. So I'm gonna add the basil leaves. I just chopped them up a little bit. And this is really good for color and flavor. And we just let that sit and simmer for a few minutes. Okay, so everything's been simmering in the sauce for a few minutes, and it's looking like it's time to serve it. Alright, so I have my pasta already on my plate. And we're just gonna scoop everything on top. Then top it off with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Since I want to add some color, I'm going to put some parsley on top. And I have my rolls over here. Let's just add a roll and we're done.
Voila.